audio. Oh. Hello everyone, welcome to a very impromptu Top Table Live. Do let me know if you can see me and hear me okay, and then we will dive in. Good to see you all around this evening. Who's in the chat already? Someone give me a heads up that you can see me and hear me okay, and then we will crack on. Cool, you can all see me and hear me. That is great news. Welcome to a very impromptu Top Table Live, and apologies Steve isn't here. Of course, with the current goings on in the world, we've decided to lock down the studio for a couple of months. Really tickly throat. Sorry guys. So we have all kind of taken bits of the kit we need, and we're all streaming from home, and in doing that, we're still figuring out how to do kind of two of us on the stream from two locations and make it seamless. So for tonight, for different reasons, you've just got me, but Steve is already in the chat, so you're going to get plenty of him probably winding me up. So how have you all been? Let's have a look at who is in the chat. So we've got, first in was Joe Holzman. Good evening. Good evening, Joe. Hope you're doing well, my man. Good to see you back on some Middle-earth stuff after working on Marvel for a while in the weekend roll call, my friend. Dom Symes is in. Good to see you, Dom. Old friend from the Guild Ball community. Excellent painter as well. Apologies, mate, I forget the name of your commission service. Feel free to stick it in the chat and let everyone know a little bit more about you, mate. He's painting some snow troopers for Legion this evening. Excuse me one sec. Okay, can you all hear me okay? Getting some weird messages there off Steve. So Angel says, hey guys, hello Angel, it's been ages since you've been in one of these streams, so it's great to have you back in on this one. How are you doing? What's new with you, mate? Are you getting in much hobby? How's the painting? I've not seen anything in a while. Matt Prescott says, evening all. Good evening, Matt. How are you doing, my man? Great post that you posted earlier as well about the let's see how far we've progressed in 18 months. That's a really cool thing. Brushballer's in. How do? Good evening, Gaz, my friend. Gaz, Brushballer, absolute legend. I got my Hobbits this week. Boy, have I got a lot of little people. I can't wait to get them on the table. I'm sure Gaz will post some pictures as well. I've got to finish. I wanted to base them, but they are beautiful. And he's currently working on Matt Woods' Batman stuff, and it is crazy good, which is awesome. So do check out Brushballer, but I'm pretty sure you all have at this point. Matt Bresk is saying he's belting, mate. Steve Bonner says, good, just having a cup of tea from my Top Table Gaming mug. Good man. I don't even have a Top Table Gaming mug tonight. But good man. Tanya Chiboon is in. Good evening, Tanya. Hope you're doing well. Steve's chatting to everyone. Steve Bonner says, please tell us Nick's in charge. Nick is not in charge. We're all in quarantine and self-isolation and all that stuff. So I am at home. And I painted a wall today. So we're all prepping for, of course, the next couple of months are going to be us all doing much more solo stuff, but trying to make sure we bring you as much content as possible. So I was chatting to Luke Fellows, Luke's APS, and he's been like, try this, try that. So I'm building myself a new little filming setup at home. Started today. This is a very much phase 1 Band-Aid version to get me going for tonight. Steve Bonner, yep. We see you, Jay. We have a stream. Sounds good. All good, Jay. All good. Evening, Jay. We can see and hear you. Oh, live, no swearing this time. Absolutely. Steve Bonner says, good lad, just prepping for the GBHL live stream and paint. Very nice. Will Pinzar is in, the legend that is Will, and he says, evening, you lovely lizard. Will, was I supposed to phone you back yesterday? We spoke. It's been a crazy weekend. Steve is saying, loving the tiny white dots. Hey, this got about 4 million coats of paint. It is fine. Although I did just notice a grubby handprint, but we'll fix that. Steve Bonner has an AOS Gobbo force and now has a lot of little people. Do you know what? I was chatting to Steve about this. I only play Horde armies. So in AOS, I love the goblins, for example. In Lord of the Rings, my armies in the past have been Lake Town and Goblin Town and now Hobbits. I just love Horde armies. I just think they look so cool on the table, and it is usually what I'm attracted to. Even in Warcry, I was running Ghoul Spam for Flesh Eater Courts. Hordes are just cool. Flying Mammal Waves. Hey, how you doing, Ruth? Sean as well, I hope. Hope you guys are looking after yourselves down south. Let us know that you're all okay and what you've been up to. Angel says, been really rubbish with hobbying. The hobby table is gathering dust at the moment. I do intend on changing that eventually. Well, we look forward to seeing it when you do. We need to catch up soon as well. Obviously, No Vengeance is moving to August now. Hopefully August with the world and everything that's going on. But it'd be great to see you soon, my friend. Tom Glover says, evening all. These people talking about TTG mugs, it's like they're taunting me. Ignore them, mate. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. And Will Pintas says, yeah, twice. So I was supposed to phone him back twice, which is my bad. GBH Podcast. Ooh, bonus stream. We'll try and pop in that. Good stuff, my man. You do just get my dulcet tones this evening, but Steve is going to be all over the chat. So we'll keep you up to date. So what have we all been up to? Let us know how we're all feeling this week. Let's not make it a coronavirus episode, but let's chat about what kind of hobby plans we've got, what we're going to use the self-isolation for, things like that. We're going to keep it super casual tonight. If you've got any questions at all, SBG related, hobby related, channel related, Jay related, Steve related, throw them in and we can talk about those as well. And let's just we'll probably do about 90 minutes of just sitting and talking. So first of all, everyone in the chat, let us know what hobbying you've been doing. I'd imagine gaming's probably off the table at this point, and let us know what you've been doing to keep sane hobby-wise. And Rob B is evening. Good evening, Rob, my friend. It's great to have you in, my man. Skull Munch, no hugs, social distancing. Oh, yeah, hugs are out. Virtual hugs. We need to make virtual hugs a thing. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week. Obviously, working at Element Games as well. I've been putting in control measures and all that stuff there. Hobby-wise, not a great deal. I tend to, as a lot of you know, I go through weeks of just painting 1 million models and then none. Last week was the 1 million models. I got like 20 models done for Legion and like 28 for Batman. It was a Steve Bonnar sort of week. You'd have been proud, Steve. This week, with everything that's going on, work has been crazy. So not even picked up a brush, I don't think, this week. But I have painted a wall, as you can see here, in an attempt, for those of you who might have missed it, to set up a brand new filming space for the coming months when we can't all get together and have a cup of tea and hugs in the Top Table studio. So this is my efforts to film a bit more at home. Skullmuch said that. Steve is chatting on, and Flying Mammal says, virtual hug indeed. It's all we've got for the next couple of months, which is absolutely rubbish. David Kostler is in. Good evening, David. Hope you're doing well. Not a name I recognise. I may have missed you on my streams. Let us know if it's your first time. And the rule is, if it's your first time, Rob Brown as well. I don't know if you've been in one before. If it's your first stream, stick in the comments where you're from, what games you play and how you found us, and get chatting to everyone in the chat. He's saying, I'm struggling with motivation to paint everything I have. Work is stressful. Still going into the office tomorrow. My boss is crazy. Yeah. A lot of people are still having to. There's a lot going on. I suspect with the announcement that happened this afternoon and me being diabetic, I might be getting one of those letters and staying at home for 3 months, which is scary. But let's hope we can all utilise that time when we are at home to maybe sneak some hobby in around that work from home time. Tanya, painting some converted Rebel veterans for Star Wars Legion and trying to make some progress on more Mordor forces. Everybody's playing Legion at the moment. I love it. I've started playing again. As I just mentioned, I've painted a load of Legion lately. I'm getting all my Imperials ready, all the stuff I can get hold of, because that's an issue right now. And I didn't get to play, but we're starting a little element. We were starting a little Element Games staff Legion thing on a Monday night. The Monday before. There were 3 of us there, so I decided to sit and watch. But I am amazed with the skirmish rule set. So skirmish, for those of you who don't know, they've taken the game from the full 800-point 6x3 game into 500 points, changed the force composition a little bit, and played on a 3x3. And it just looks so dynamic and fantastic, and the missions work really well. And it's great to see everybody is checking out Legion at the moment. If you are interested, do check it out, because it is a great little game. Rob's got his Mortex Guard primed on it this week. Work you. Yep. Rob mentioned he's going to paint some Bone Reapers, and he put a picture up, and I've got a load literally just off camera over here as well. So I said, you know what? Why don't we go like for like painting them as a bit of a challenge thing in the group? So mine and Rob's week 1 target is 10 Mortex Guard. I've done a test scheme on one, but I don't like it. Rob has primed his today. I'll probably re-prime mine because I want to prime them light, not dark now. And we'll get stuck in this week and see what we can do. And do check it over on the Top Table Gaming Community Facebook page. We'll be updating what we get done and stuff over there. Steve Bonnar being anti-non-gaming community social helps with the isolation. So I'm doing good and loving all the whip hobby going on in the groups. Yeah, if there was a silver lining, which there isn't, to this horrible situation, everybody sharing hobby and kind of coming together, I think it will really help boost morale and stuff. And do get involved in the Top Table group if we can be nothing but kind of a central place where we can all chat, keep each other company and get through this rubbish, then let's do that, and everyone just keep getting involved. That's the best way to deal with this. Very proud of you, mate. Keep it up and share all the pics. Steve says, hey Dave, still working too. Domestic stuff has dried up, but luckily I've still got a bit of site work. George Perkins says, finishing a primer. I think he means Primaris. I saw him painting a Space Wolf today in the Weekend Hobby Roll Call over on the Facebook group. I love George's painting. I am a big fan of George's stuff. Robbie, I've been in a few, usually just listening. Well, it's good to have you commenting, my man. Really good to have you. And Joe Holzman, think of all the painting you won't do in 3 months. Mate, you're not wrong. You are not wrong at all. I think, again, I kind of either paint 1 million models or none. And knowing me, I'd paint nothing until the last week and then sit down and try and just smash out as much as I can. Skullmunch, very fortunate to be able to work from home in my job. I have played a couple of games of Warcry. Nice. And I've picked up my guitar again. That's cool. I think hobbies are definitely... Obviously, this is our main hobby we all share. But other hobbies are very important at this time. So, random J-fact number 1 of the evening is... I actually own a mandolin, and I'm not great, but I can knock out a couple of very basic tunes, and I got it out today and retuned it, so I broke out the mandolin, and there's a different instrument for you all. David Koslet, made to order this weekend. Who's buying what? I did see that for the coming next week post this afternoon. So what was it? It was the Metal Ent, the Galadrim stuff was in there. There's a Gamling. Somebody let me know the stuff that's in there. I don't even have an Isengard army, but I feel like everyone should own a battering ram. So a bit of me really wants to get the Uruk battering ram. I know that's in there. Let us know what's in there, guys, and let us know what you're going to be picking up, because it is a great time to be a Middle-earth player. And of course, the next 2 coming Saturdays, we have the Warhammer previews that would have been at Adepticon, and I'm starting to get real sad because I would have been on a plane to Adepticon in about 36 hours time. Me and the wonderful Andy from Blackjack Legacy. So, yeah, but they're going to live stream them. So the next 2 coming Saturdays, they're going to be doing big, huge Warhammer previews. A ticket for the event was 2 hours, so they've got a lot to spoil. They said it was going to be the biggest one ever, and every game is featured. So if we're going to find out what the next expansion maybe for the Middle-earth strategy battle game is, it will definitely be either next Saturday or the Saturday after as part of the Warhammer previews that would have been at Adepticon. So do keep an eye out for those as well. Really good point as well for everyone looking for more hobby and fun stuff to do is I read yesterday that Warhammer TV have made everything free. So usually you can watch live for free, but to access anything that's already aired, you have to pay. As a Twitch member now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the chat, they've opened up the full Twitch library for free. So if you want to play AOS, there'll be hundreds of battle reports now. Warcry, there'll be some. You name it. If it's a GW system, you should now be able to go and watch the back catalogue for free. So big thumbs up to GW for doing that. Really great kind of wealth and massive content at this time. There'll be some really cool like designer interview stuff as well. So do go and check out Warhammer TV, because they're going to have loads of good stuff now that you can check out. And give them a subscription on Twitch anyway if you're enjoying it. Where are we up to? Whoa, the chat is fast tonight. But Graham Dixon's in. Good evening. Good evening, Graham. It's been too long, man. Let's try and have a catch up this week. Tom Glover, first up, Kaz had done Dwarves. Nice. Will Pintar, 500 point skirmish. Oh dear. Paul Palms, evening all. Hope everyone is well. Good evening, Paul. Good to have you in. George Perkins, I'm painting a Space Wolf at the moment. Then Kit Bashington. I knew it was a Space Wolf. I knew it was. Joe Holzman, finally putting together my Theodred's Guard army ready to paint after the King / Heralds of the Dead I started this morning. I saw those, man. looking good. Look forward to seeing the finished product. Flying Mammal, but can you play it right-handed? No, I am left. I think I may have ranted to Ruth about this, but I had to go on an absolute hunt to get a left-handed mandolin. But let's not dive into that in a hobby stream. Steve, not reading that. Skullmunch says hashtag mandolin Jay. Tom Glover, who else wants a live stream mandolin performance from Jay? Tell you what, right? The first time that we have 150 people at once in the stream, I'm setting it high to give myself a bit of breathing space here, or maybe it'll never happen. The first time we have 150 people in the stream, I'll break out the mandolin and I will play you a tune. How's that? You can hold me to that, guys. Glenn Seymour, playing games, board games, and staying away from painting. I saw, did I remember correctly, you were teaching your little brother either SBG or Warcry this weekend, man. And Glenn, be great to have a catch up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Tanya, give it a go on a live stream, the mandolin. Yeah, but I think I may have created a rod for my own back, Tanya, about that. Skullmunch, new top table show, the mandolin. Yeah, give us a tune. And Brushballer ever so kindly says, I don't want to see Jay knocking one out. Mate, no one does. Ask Steve, he's been there. Joe Holzman, made to order, maybe expensive. Already have the battering ram Gimli Elms. Which Gimli is it? Is it the Dead Uruk one? I think it is. But may have to get more of them. And the Helm's Deep box, but want to grab at least one of everything else. Nice. Steve Bonner, needing mounted hammer, mounted Legolas, and Isengard battering ram. And another 12k to update my Lord of the Rings forces. This is a long-term investment now. Plenty of scope going forwards. Skullmunch, if Jay puts his instrument into the Back to the Future car, is it the Mandalorian? Or the Madalorian? Oh, man. Oh, Sean, you're only hurting yourself right now, my man. That was an awful joke, but I still love you, so don't worry about that. Reese Taylor says, hey guys. Hey Reese, how you doing, man? Got to catch up with you last week before everything imploded. Hope you're doing well, my man. Was that your last game? You were playing against Ryan at the gaming centre. That was it Ryan? I think it was Ryan. You guys were playing. Steve Bonner, gonna need to get on Twitch if the library is free and watch all the Lord of the Rings things, right? I know, we may as well make the most of it and take the little wins that we can at the moment. Steve Bonner, glad to see you looking better too, Jay. Was I ever not looking good, Steve? Wow! Tough crowd, man. I didn't think I was ever not good, but cheers, Steve. Tom Glover. Right, everyone watch the stream on every device you have. We can reach 150 between us now. Hang on a minute. That's breaking the system a little bit. I don't think that's fair, is it? Don't be mean. Glenn Seymour. Anyone else have a screen freeze? Paul says yes, and Skullmunch says, I thought he was very still. Bear with me a sec, guys. I'll get it. Let me get it fixed for you. Just one sec. How's that? Did I fix it? Did I need top table Nick? Have I fixed it? Hopefully I have fixed it. Let's have a look where we up to. Hopefully you can hear me again. Someone let me know. Are we fixed? Are we fixed? Are we fixed? Skullmunch says, I just thought he was very still. It must have frozen. Apologies for whatever is going on there. Again, we've tore the studio apart. We got very close to finally having everything working there, and now we've had to hit the reset and pull everything back. And hopefully that's now working. I have deactivated and reactivated the camera, so you should all be good. Screen, yeah, we're all telling me it's frozen. Sorry, mate, it was last month when you were off work sick. Don't worry, Steve, it's all good. I was probably just throwing a sickie. Hopefully no one's in here that can get me in trouble. Glenn's saying, typical TTG stream. Correct, my friend, correct. We're actually tech geniuses, but we throw these in just to like immerse ourselves a bit more. Of course, that's what we do. And then everyone... Steve sabotage you, Jay. I would not put it past him. To be fair, I'd have loved to have Steve on in the flesh. We were trying to get stuff working, and we had to kind of call it a day at like 10 to 9, because obviously we needed to finish setting up to go live, sadly. But you've just got me. So it's good to see everyone in. It's great to have a nice full chat. Let's have a think now. So what we're going to chat about tonight is, anyone got any questions? Anything you want to ask about the channel, about Middle Earth, about anything different? Rob Brown, I'm going to challenge you to ask the first question this evening. Get the ball moving. So stick something in the comments and let's get talking. Steve Bonner, no Nick, no stream. That is usually the case. Checked in on Top Table Nick the other day. He's doing well. It's a shame he's not around. We, of course, miss him. But what can you do? So, yeah, I suppose we can talk about... I'm not going to look around because then I'm not looking at you. But in knowing that for the next 3 months, maybe 6 months, who knows, sadly, me, Steve, Ben, it's going to be tough for us to get together and not the right thing to do. Certainly in the short term, we've all kind of signed off on just filming from home. So today, anyone who's watched one of my videos, I used to have like a brick background thing that was stapled to the wall pretty roughly, just so I could sit in front of it and film without it just being my dining room. But I decided, no, let's get rid of that. If we're going to be doing this for a while, let's kind of permanently fix things. So that came off today, filled the holes, painting, said a lot of swear words. I hate painting walls. Oh, nearly as much as minis. Hate painting, so got a nice blue on. It's kind of the YouTube cool colour right now. And we got this thing. We've also got a desk coming in the same wood as this. I've got some floating shelves to go up and we've got some cool new lights and stuff. But the good thing is this doesn't look too, despite the fact I've just thrown this and this on there right now for the sake of I'm doing a gaming stream, it won't look too out of place in my dining room either. So this is probably the backdrop you're going to see when you're looking at my face for the next couple of months. Glyn Seymour, yeah, teaching him SBG points games. Definitely find match play to be less fun, though there were some awesome moments. Now, you know I love Middle-earth SBG. Don't take this comment in a way to contradict that, but the game is built to be played narratively. I love match play. I'm a competitive player. I like playing in tournaments and writing lists, but the game works best when it's played narratively. Apart from when me and Steve tried to do the Mines of Moria and the Fellowship didn't even get out the door. Spoilers on a battle report on the channel. Do go and check it out. So, David Kostler. When do you think the expansion will be? So, as I've mentioned, I think they're going to announce either next Saturday or the Saturday after. We've got 2 huge live streamed Warhammer previews that were going to be part of the Adepticon Warhammer preview. So they've split it up into 2 big sections because it was like a 2-hour preview. They posted everywhere that it's going to be the biggest ever. Every game they make is covered. So we're going to find out about it either next Saturday or the Saturday after. And then usually the way GW works is it's 2 to 3 months after announcement that something will go up for pre-order, usually closer to 2 than 3. It's like an 8-week thing. So if we hear about it in the next 2 weeks, we should get it in the next 10 to 14. So, excuse me. So I reckon we're going to get it in the summer. June, July is when it's going to come out. But hopefully within the next 2 weeks we'll know what it is. What do you all think, SPG fans? What do you think the next supplement for Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game is going to be? And I won't tell you mine yet. We'll see what you guys come up with, but I'll let you know when somebody gets mine. I think we're all probably on the same page at this point, and fingers crossed, because I'm very excited for one character in particular. Steve Bonner, when's the weekend of 3? Dude, was in talks, I can say that. Now not in talks. It's not even a conversation worth having until the current situation is going. Me and Steve were chatting this week. We've got 4, 5, maybe even 6 placeholders in the Element Games calendar right throughout the year for events we've either told you about, like the Community SBG event we unfortunately had to cancel this week, or others we haven't told you about yet. And given the current state of things, we're just going to basically wait. And there's no point planning in events. There's no point doing the legwork because we just don't know where we're going to be in 6, 12, 18 weeks and whether we can actually make them go ahead. So sadly right now can't confirm anything, and I'll let you know when we can. Rob says no pressure, tell me what you think the big reveals will be instead of Adepticon. Best guess. Right, okay, let's do this one game system at a time. So 40k, a lot of people are saying 9th edition's coming. I'm not convinced, although they are kind of... They've still got a lot of factions, because each Psychic... I don't know too much about 40k, but each Psychic Awakenings book and releases around 2 factions. We've got the next one in the Space Wolves and the Orcs. I think you're going to get another Psychic Awakening, or there might be like an epic climax to that and something. But I don't think it's going to be 40k 9th edition, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I just think, no, knowing how far ahead GW work and a lot of the gripes that are making everyone want the new edition, I just don't think it's time yet. Sorry, just checking. Steve isn't messaging me telling the text box. So yeah, I don't think that. For AOS, I think you're going to get a full reveal, including rules of the new elves and tech list. They're not my bag. Now, some people love them, some people hate them. They're not my bag, but I love the kind of character dude in no armor, for those of you who've seen them. And I think we might get like a new malign sorcery box with endless spells anyone can use, but I think they'll base that around tech list. In Necromunda, you'll get the next... the House of Chains, is it? So the expansion for the Escher gang, like we've just had for Goliath. I think they'll dig way further into that, although we have seen it, so don't know. Middle-earth is going to be the next supplement. I'm going to say it. I think it's Last Alliance. Blood Bowl will get a new team. Warcry, I don't know what Warcry. I think they might do what they did with Kill Team and give it a new starter set. Maybe. I'd love... Now, I'm not going to go on a rant about this, but I adore Warcry, but the reason I stopped playing is because I feel like it got wide, not tall. Now, what I wanted was depth in the factions. A lot of the factions, it's kind of like, here's what you should take, this is the optimal build, or you have that few options, you have to take this. Now, it's great that there's rules for now, like 24 AOS factions on top of the Sigma ones. Side note, we still haven't seen the last Warcry faction, so that'll be in this. But I'd just love for them to go, even if it was just into the Warcry warbands, and just give them, like they're doing with Necromunda now, give them all a second box of stuff with more options and more builds, just to really expand the factions that we've got from the Warcry universe, and that would be amazing. If I forgot any of the GW games, like Aeronautica, they'll get another faction, because I think they've just got Tau. If I forgot any systems, someone else stick it in the comments, and I'll let you know. Great question, Rob. David Costlet, you need some Middle-earth boxes in the background. Love them shelves, I want some. I do. These are just boxes I've got at home, because I've been building my Legion, and I've been building my Bone Reapers. I keep most of my stuff in the studio, because I work at Element Games as well, so I try and not store too much here. I did nearly break out like a blue source book and stick that in there, but I don't have that many Lord of the Rings boxes, because I'm one of those people who builds every single model they own, so the boxes are gone and it's all built models. I love it. Tom Glover, if Steve gets his Tabletop Simulator up and running, any chance of recording one of those great games to scratch the back pitch? Yeah, man, I'm down. I've used Tabletop Simulator before. I've used it for L5R and Game of Thrones card games and a few other things. Guild Ball, did I? No, I think that was the Vassal module. But yeah, I've used Tabletop Simulator for a few games before. It's a wicked thing. Everyone should go and check out Tabletop Simulator on Steam. And it's basically a 3D virtual environment, and then people create the games within it, so you can download Ticket to Ride or Pandemic or Guild. There's a Guild Ball mod or mods for different LCGs, and like most of the games that you'd go to your gaming store and play, there's probably a Tabletop Simulator mod, and some of them are fantastic. Now, it's not as good for fully fledged tabletop games, but for board games and card games, like, insanely good. And it's a way we could all play. So maybe I'll go and check out Tabletop Simulator, find a few games you think look fun, and we could set up a little group within Top Table to kind of get together and play these games virtually while we're going through the next few months. What do you reckon? How regular do you feel you'd like to stream, and would you do a Warcry themed series? So I would love to stream 2 or 3 times a week. This is one of my favourite. It's one of those things that you're always kind of like, oh, I'm streaming, and it's like, oh no, it's 9 o'clock at night. But as soon as the camera goes and we get chatting, it's great fun. Providing there's no tech issues, then just stress kicks in. I love streaming, and you're probably going to see more than just the fortnightly Top Table live, given the current situation, because live is probably the easiest way of us doing it, because there's no editing. You just sit down, go and do it. And most importantly, we get to interact with you guys, because everything we do is community-based. It's why we push the Facebook group so hard, as well as YouTube. So we get to chat to you crazy people, even you, Steve. Would I do a Warcry theme series? Now, my comments I just made are very valid. Sorry, I've got blue paint all over me. I do want to revisit Warcry, because I love it. And if they gave me a little bit more within it, I would be straight back in, as keen as I was when it came out, and you all remember how giddy I was back then. So yes. Skullmunch says played AOS on Tabletop Simulator and it works really well. No way. Oh, you have just signed yourself up to sit on Skype with me and teach me how to play AOS on TTS, because that sounds mega. Tom Glover, I've had a play with the SPG stuff on it, fiddly at first, but getting used to it quite quickly. Oh, I'm going to have to check it out. Reese Taylor says War of the Ring, I reckon. So that's for the next expansion. Last Alliance, kind of similar theme, I get it. Glenn Seymour, see CEX up the prices on their new consoles and stock. Really? That's a bit grim. Oh, man. Would have loved a cheap gaming console or PC for Tabletop Simulator. Now, from what I remember, mate, because I've had some pretty bad computers, Tabletop Simulator doesn't take that much to run, so don't... If you've got a laptop, I reckon it may run it. You could just run it on low settings, mate. Don't let that put you off. George Perkins says, Fulgrim Demon Primarch for 40k would be cool. It would. When they do the Primarchs, those are the only pretty much 40k models that make me go, yeah, they're insanely good. Tom Glover, I'd love an Erebor expansion. Now that's one interesting I've never thought about, but it's a great idea. Can have battles from Hobbit era and also War of the Ring era. Yeah, you could. You could visit both, which is fantastic. Can't see it happening, as I think there'll be other priorities. I think I agree. I think they're going to stick in the realms of Lord of the Rings for a while because they've spent a couple of years in Hobbit, so they're going to go back. Glenn Seymour, Battlefleet Gothic. Now, sadly, we know Battlefleet Gothic isn't coming. So at the New Year's Open Day that I went with Steve and a lot of you beautiful people in here, somebody asked exactly that question. They said that if they were going to do Battlefleet Gothic, they'd want to spend 2 years redeveloping it for a modern era, and they confirmed they haven't started that. So I think if they announced it now, that would be insane, because it would be a bazillion years away, or 2 years away. Joe Holtzman, I still think Last Alliance is going to be later, nearer the release of the Amazon show, which does make sense because it's close timeline wise, or as close as can be. Oh, sorry, I've lost you. There we go. Reckon next book will cover some of the battles during the War of the Ring we don't know a huge amount about. That'd be great, and it'd be really good to see him go to new uncharted territories. I'm down for anything. Every supplement has killed it, and just keep bringing it on. Jay and Rob and the Middle Earth team are slaying it, and of course a lot of us have met through our love from that game. So where are we up to? Paul Palms, I'm waiting for a Steam sale and I'm definitely getting TTS. Do check. I'm pretty sure I saw it on sale the other day, although I'm probably wrong. Skullmunch, my Friday evening was playing Tabletop Simulator, mate. Played Res Arcada and Everdell, both great board games. Skullmunch, me, you, Ruth, and anyone else who wants to join in, we need to get some board game evenings in on TTS during this time, because that would be fantastic. Glenn Seymour, miss all the Weekender crew, not as much as we miss you, my friend. And of course, I'm assuming the moving to Manchester plans are on hold, which is also a bit rubbish. Will Pinter, I want my HUD models back. Yeah, don't we all, man? So the Hobbits. So Gaz Brushballer has just commissioned me a beautiful, huge, stunning, gorgeous, incredible Hobbit army. And the day I was deciding which army to send Gaz, I was torn between Hobbits and a full camel army. And the reason it ended up being Hobbits is because the night before they pulled it all off a site, so I couldn't get the camels. But I'm so glad, because the Hobbits look amazing. Where are we up to? Yeah, it's grim they're taking advantage of being people stuck indoors. Oh yeah, that is a bit rubbish. It seems insane that a huge retail chain have done that, but when they're selling stuff secondhand, I suppose they can always up and down the price as they suit. There's no RRP as such. Steve Bonner, Adam Troke said something about Easterlings and Canned getting fleshed out as his hopes during the GT live stream. Do you reckon he was giving us a little teaser there? Yeah, that'd be cool, because Canned, what have they got? They've got the dudes, the chariots, the king. They're quite limited. Easterlings as well, they've got alt profiles, which are the same models with a different paint scheme. But I don't know enough about the lore and the non-movie stuff to know what they could include for Canned. Does anyone want to let me know what stuff could they expand into for Canned and Eastlings? That'd be quite interesting. Glenn saying, Will, you definitely got bit by the SPG, but Will did. Sorry, Will. So other than the time that Will spent £31,000 on eBay on a Mordor catapult, yes, that is true, you did hear me right. My favourite story about Will is when he, of course, a couple of months ago sat down to do Top Table Live with me. Steve was busy, so Will came in, of course, great pal and local. Before the stream, we're chatting. He's like, right, so obviously your crowd, Will was an X-Winger, and I've kind of pulled him into some other games like God Tier and Marvel. And he's like, right, so you've got an SPG crowd, so like, I'll see if I can ask some questions just to, like, I don't think I'll play SPG, but I'll ask questions about why I should get into it, and we'll get the chat going. I'm like, great, that's what we want. These lives are all about getting the chat going and everyone having fun. And then at the end of the stream, you guys all pitched him SPG, and then at the end of the stream, he's like, right, I'm buying it. And so it's all of you guys who were watching live for that episode of Top Table Live that are the reason that Will is now an absolute SPG addict. He's got multiple armies. He spent £31,000 on a model on eBay, and he played in Desolation of Stockport last weekend as well. So yeah, you're all to blame for Will, I'm afraid. Where are we up to? Paul Palms, I looked yesterday, it was 15 quid. That's Tabletop Simulator. I think that's full price. Richard Woods, evening. Sorry I'm late. Hope everyone is keeping safe. We are all good, my friend, or as much as I know we're all good. Hope you're looking after yourself in these times. Skull Munch, yes, Jay, let's get on it. Woo whoop. I'll drop you a message tomorrow, my friend. Paul Palms, not saying 15 is too much, but with the current climate, I've got to be tight. Yep, of course, everyone's got to be careful. It's sad times for a lot of people right now, and we don't know how long it's going to last. Talking about TTS, I played Beastgrave the other day with my mate who has to start a set. Yeah, so the smaller stuff you could interestingly do with webcams. So me and Matt Woods were chatting today. You all know I love Matt Woods. He's like my usual gaming buddy for all the stuff no one else plays. And like at the moment we are loving Batman the Miniatures game. Brushball is currently commissioning some of it for Matt, and I've got a pile of stuff over there for you guys. Where was I going? Tangent's gone. Oh yeah, and like we were chatting today about Batman, and we're like, oh god, we're gonna miss not playing for a few months. And he was like, let's webcam it, but due to the fact that it has lots of, like, you use like 3 or 4 story apartment blocks, and it's very dynamic, the movement, I just don't think it'd be possible. Sad panda. So I'm not gonna get to play Batman for a while, but there are some things more important than playing with toys right now, isn't it? Lee Dalbekin's in. Yes, always love to have Lee in. Hi all, how is everyone? How are you, Lee? What are you playing at the moment? Is it still primarily War Machine, mate? Obviously, I always saw you on a Friday down at the club. Looks like it'd be close to September now, unless we allowed for freedom. I think September's a fair shout. Reese Taylor would love an Easterlings expansion. Of course you would. Of course you would. Could do battle between the Easterlings and Iron Hills. I'm down for that. Lee Oakley. Yes, Lee's in. I adore Lee. Great guy. Good to have you in. We need to get the Spoon Clan back together at the end of the year, mate. We need to do it. Never played Lord of the Rings. What makes it a great game? Oh, I'm going to let the chat take care of that, my friend. But it is a fantastic, fantastic game. And if we're ever allowed near each other, I would happily take you through it. Richard Woods, I purchased Tabletop Simulator on Friday. Everyone's picking up TTS right now. Played a full game of Great Western Trail. Was very impressed once we got the hang of the controls. It's the same for everything. Once you figure out the hotkeys and the controls, you fly with TTS. And the games I've played on it, I love. I've switched to Mac, so I'm hoping I can put it on my Mac. I'll have to check that after the stream. Lord of the Rings Online as well. Oh, I really want to play that again. Somebody, who was it? Somebody in here has been prodding me to get back on Lord of the Rings Online. And I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, no, be strong, Jay. But Lord of the Rings Online would be mega to play. But if we're talking about online gaming, we've got the Final Fantasy VII Remake on April 18th, and then The Last of Us 2 on May 23rd, and that is more than enough to cure my digital gaming itch, or I'll get no hobby done. Not that I do anyway, or content. I'll just be gaming. So I've got to be careful. I only allow myself a few computer games. Skullmunch would love to see the Signs of the Flame announced for Warcraft. I couldn't remember the name. I think that is inevitable. I'd put money on that. And I'm really excited to see them. They are the last of the ones in the book, so what could be interesting is they could show us them, and then we could, it'd be so good, like they've just done with Necromunda. They could go, right, boom, here's Iron Golems box 2, where they get like a range thing and a giant thing and a different thing. Oh god, if that happens, I'm going back into Warcry so hard. Steve Bonner, there's the Easterling King, Queen, Auxiliary Units and Elite Dragon Infantry, but there's scope to add other options. For Kand, I've no clue, but I've got a Genghis Khan chariot named hero would be good. That'd be dope, wouldn't it? And chariot, how much are chariots? Aren't they so much stupid in game, like under 50 points or 50 points? I'd love to see a chariot army. Has anyone ever seen, does anyone have, or have you played against a chariot army? Because that would look, ooh, so good on the tabletop. Orthodox Frog, I'm so happy I've managed to paint all the mounted versions for my Rohan 600 point list. Finally, dude, you've made the vital mistake. Never paint the cool mounted stuff first, because you'll never do the dismounts. And Rohan is the army I adore, but not about them dismounts. I've gone Riv Knights. Steel say it's for power gaming reasons, but it's for the low models. Okay. Glenn Seymour, Sean, is the Red Rose Wargaming Warcry tournament cancelled? I'd imagine so, given when it is. Then Steve in the chat is of course pitching to Lee why he should play SPG. Great Western Trail is amazing. I haven't played Great Western Trail. What is it? Tell me about it. I would like some. I'd really love actually some board game recommendations, especially stuff I can play on my son who's 7, but he's got such a mind for this stuff. Like he's chess crazy right now. He's so good as well. He's beating me all the time. But I'd love some games either to play with my son or just to have in for when you do get locked in these situations. Steve Bonner, Jay, you need to do a hobby blog with your home setup area. Do you know what? I thought about doing do you mean just start doing hobby vlogs again? Because that is something that I do want to do just to keep me motivated and on track with getting my hobby stuff done. Or do you mean one about the process? Because I did actually plan on doing it, because I brought all the gear home, lights wise and stuff from the studio on Thursday. I went and bought the paint. I ordered, this came from Facebook, somebody made this, and I was like, oh, I'll do a before and after. And then today I just forgot the before, ripped the backdrop off the wall. I was like, oh, that's too late now. Then just got stuck in with painting and it didn't happen. And I didn't know if you'd enjoy watching that either, but I'll definitely do I've got some photos of my old filming space and I can probably put something together how it looks now, and then as I add the shelves and the lights and the LEDs and stuff, I can see what I can do. But this is of course day one. Paul Palms, mount a webcam on your forehead, you'll be fine. I'm assuming you mean for Batman in the buildings, but then you'd see that starting to go thin spot on the back of my head probably. Nobody wants that. That is not good. Lee Oakley, Rat Boys are ready to go. Oh, Lee's rats are so good. And for anyone in the chat who loves AOS and loves Skaven and just loves really cool conversion kits and models, go and check out Battle Bits on Facebook and check out that really cool project that Lee is a part of. Woo. Reece Taylor, been playing old school Dawn of War, reinstalled it on the laptop. Nice. I like that. Skullmunch, with FF7 coming self-isolating won't be an issue. Absolutely. Do you know what, Skullmunch? You as a fellow Final Fantasy nut, you're gonna judge me now, but last week I got the FF8 remaster and it's just not good. Oh, it's not. It's so dated. I was like, I don't want to play 7 because the new one's coming, so I'm going to re-experience that story through the new one. Of course, we've all played the demo. We were exchanging messages about the demo. I cried playing the demo. And I've played 9 too many times. So I was like, I'll get the 8 remaster. And like the gameplay is just... I got as far as Galbadia and I was just like, no, I'm out. I spent more time playing the card game. And that makes me sad. But yeah... Rose-tinted glasses, sometimes it's better to leave the things you used to love alone and preserve the memory. Lee Dalbekin, still War Machine and Warcry and Kill Team and everything else, knowing you, Lee. Well, I've lost him. And starting AOS with the Throwdown events. Throwdown events are wicked. John works for me on the bar in the Element Games Gaming Centre. He's really cutting his teeth on running events. He's created a great 40k community. All his events are Throwdown events. And he's created a really good slow grow, and he's branching into AOS and Warcry as well. Do, if you are in the Manchester area, check out Throwdown events. John does some good stuff, and he does that in his only days off when he's not working in the gaming centre. He's an absolute legend, and you all know John. A lot of you have met him. He comes with us to like Warhammer World and stuff. Beautiful, beautiful man. Reece Taylor, 30 points for a chariot. 30 points. Oh man, so I could have like 18 chariots and a hero. Oh god, somebody needs to do that. I bet it's expensive. Can you still get the chariots? I don't know. There was a chariot army at Scouring. He played on Lake Town. Oh man, aren't they on like 60 mils as well? He could not move anywhere. I'd be like wheel spinning it on the ice and just skidding. Oh, that's grim. But a beautiful board to play on, and I would love, if anyone's got any pictures of playing with, against, or owning a chariot army. Stick it in the Top Table Gaming Community Facebook group. That'd be wicked. Will, Glyn, you're not wrong. I've got 3 armies and looking at others, and I even own a Mummock. He does own a Mummock. It's a big boy. I believe the wonderful dream that is Ed Ball hooked him up there. Glyn, I apologise, lol. Tom Glover, can't remember what event, but wasn't there an all chariot army in one of the Warhammer World event live streams? Might have to search back. Well, the good thing is, all of that stuff's free now. Warhammer TV have opened up their back catalogue of stream stuff for free, so you can go and watch millions of games. So, if you guys... Well, if you're not watching Top Table videos, firstly, why? But if you guys need something to watch while you're painting, do go and check that out. And I'll touch back on something in a second. You've just reminded. In fact, we'll do it now. So, interestingly, I'm going to be making a video this week. It was a video I filmed a couple of weeks ago, but I screwed something up and it got broke and we couldn't release it. And a video, I did this video a few years ago for one of my old channels. And it's one I want to bring back, and we're going to rename it, but given the current situation, but it used to be called Content Creators We Love. And what I'll do is I'll sit down and I will tell you 4 or 5, maybe 3 content creators, mainly YouTube, maybe a podcast that I love, why, what sort of content you can get, and to go and check them out. And I think this video will be extra worth checking out, given the fact that we may all be home a little bit more, working from home, YouTube on in the background, or a bit more hobby time because we're not working right now. So I'm going to make that video with a new focus about if we're in isolation, or for those of us who are at home for the foreseeable. But the beauty of it is, anybody that I recommend, be it a blog or podcast, has to then make their own version of this, whether it is a podcast or a blog or a video. So anyone I recommend you all go and check out, they then have to make a video, and they don't have to vote for us, but they do have to do it. And last time I did this, it created a really cool viral thing in gaming communities where a lot of content creators were doing it, and it gives us all really cool stuff to check out and maybe find a couple of channels that we didn't know about that we should, and we get to check out some cool new stuff. So that will be coming very, 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 very soon. No one's asked Will to tell the £31,000 chariot story. Catapult story, that's a shame. Steve Bonner, all of the above, mate. Make a series of it. Dude, if you'll watch it, I'll make it. Glyn, you are forgiven by me, maybe not by my missus. Steve, I've 1 chariot, 1 king's chariot, 6 mounted and 20 foot canned. Need to add so many more. That's a baby army for you, my friend. Richard Woods, I bought Wingspan last weekend from Elman. I hear great things about Wingspan. We spent ages struggling to keep that in stock. Excuse me, I'm a bit dry. But yeah, I hear fantastic things about Wingspan. And good to know you're shopping at Element, my man. Affiliate link. Steve, if you're in the chat, in case, I'm going to segue it in right now. If anyone's shopping at Element Games and you want to support the channel, because we are still having to pay rent on the studio, even though we can't go anywhere near it for a while. If you want to support us in everything we do and help us keep pushing content forward, then if you are shopping at Element Games, do smash that affiliate link. It'll last 30 days on whatever browser you click it. So it isn't just that you don't have to click it that day for it to work. And you get the same level of discount, the same level of service, and we get a little kickback. And Element Games are still operating on the fulfillment side, so you should still get your toys next day. So if you need to stock up on hobby supplies, click the link that Steve, if he's still watching, if not anybody, wants to stick in the chat for me, that'd be fantastic. Where are we up to? My wife and 7-year-old son love the theme, and it's quite simple to learn too. Quadropolis would be my main recommendation for under 10. Dude, I'm going to check that out. Thank you so much. Skullmunch, yeah, the Final Fantasy 7 games are defo viewed with rose-tinted glasses. They are. Oh, and I loved Squall, and oh man, yeah. I'm really frustrated I did it, and I wish I'd have just not touched it. That's kind of sad to say out loud, isn't it? They are £17 for one and 25 for a king. Woo! It's an expensive army for the canned chariots, but man, would it look good. Man, would it look good. Richard Woods, other great board games for younger children are Ticket to Ride, Carcassonne, and Santorini. Nice. So I might... Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne I've had recommended. Sorry, my cat is very dangerously close to some cabling, and that's not going to end well for any of us. I've had those recommended to me before, so I think I'm going to start with those and pick those up. Thank you, Richard, for those recommendations, you legend. Steve Bonner, my Lord of the Rings canned are up on the TCG group already. Post them again. We don't want to go looking. We want them at the top. Come on, Steve. Help us out. Come on. Joe Holzman, only time I've played against Chariot, Bard and Bane killed Tim Croft's King on Chariot and a Warrior Chariot in turn 1. Yes! Bard and Bane are legends. Love Lake Town. Leon K, good to have you in. Just to be informed, what's the corona situation in the UK? Is it a complete shutdown? So there isn't a complete shutdown currently. Social venues like pubs, clubs, gaming centres, things like that have closed down. Some retail stores have closed. IKEA's closed. And do you know what's crazy? I went to IKEA looking for stuff like this on Friday afternoon. It was one of the last things I was going to do. The place has been emptied, and I think it's everyone knowing they're stuck at home for 3 months, getting in some DIY projects maybe, but I suspect at some point we are going to go on full lockdown. And they announced this afternoon that 1.5 million people who are classed as high risk, if they can track the virus, are going to be sent letters from the NHS telling them to isolate for 12 weeks and giving them some support measures. I am probably in that group due to a medical condition, so we will see. It's terrifying times, and terrifying is the wrong word. It's scary times, but everyone's clubbing together and we'll all be okay. We're good, aren't we? Paul Palms, no, I got the original FF7 for the Switch and I'm liking it so far, but I hate random encounters. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Because back then you just took it for what it was. And I was chatting to someone in work, the way I described the reason I'm so excited for the 7, I mean, 7's always been the game I've said was my favourite game growing up. The Last of Us is probably my favourite game ever. But FF7, my favourite game growing up. And the thing about this remake is, I'm still on the fence about the gameplay, but that doesn't matter because the game now looks how it looked in my head when I was 11, if that makes any sense. I think me and you had a chat about that, Sean, as well. And just like, with voice acting and stuff. Even if it's bad, I'm going all the way through it once just to relive the story, and it look beautiful. I'll whack it on super easy mode and just enjoy it. The opening cinematic in Midgard where Ares drops the flowers and it zooms out in the puddle and you've got the huge shot of Midgard. I cried watching that in like beautiful new graphics. I'm not ashamed to say. Oh man, it was good. Anyway, Will says not yet, Leon. Glyn Seymour, 15 chariots plus a king 260 and between 450 and 550 points. Woo! Ooh, that is a price tag, but would look cool. Steve Bonner, loving the chance to learn. Where's Nick's airbrush content? How to use my new airbrush? Yeah, Nick's been a very busy man, as have we all lately. None of us are making as much content as we'd like, I think I can say. Ben's killing it, but me and Steve maybe not so much. None of us are making what we like, and Nick equally is crazy busy, but he does want to do it and he's excited to do it so soon. And who knows, it might be something he could do at home while we're all on lockdown. Who knows? Lee Oakley, with all the free time, you/we should try painting a display level mini. You should blog it. Would be good to see how far you can push the limits of these, because I don't think I have it in me. And that's such a defeatist attitude. I don't think I can ever paint to a display level. And I spent a year, and it was a year, thinking I was an okay painter and trying to make myself a great painter. And surprisingly, I didn't get anywhere. And I was trying to learn new techniques and take my time and paint single models, and I even tried a couple of busts. And I just feel like I've hit my skill ceiling. And I look at, obviously at Element Games, we run a lot of classes. We have legends like David Soper and Colour Paint and James Otterow of Siege Studios running these great classes. And of course, Byron, great personal friend and also proprietor of Element Games, like gives me lessons and stuff, but I just don't seem to retain it. One thing I have got good at is I can paint to a tabletop standard fast, super fast. And right now, especially with the channel and stuff, if I had an extra 10 hours to paint, I'd rather those 10 hours for making content for you. So for me, painting, getting it on the table makes me happy, and playing with painted toys. So yeah, I'd love to be a great painter, but I don't really have the patience, and I've tried, and I don't think I've got the skill. Although anyone can learn to do anything to any level, but it's all comparative with the hours put in, and I don't think the time put in would be worth what I'd get out, if that makes sense. Although I reckon you should do it, Lee, because you are already an incredible painter. Oh, your Iron Jaws army is... Ooh, loved it, my man. Skullmunch, FF7 still holds up well. You'll be glad to know that the remake doesn't have random encounters. No, it doesn't. You're right. Steve has then posted the Element Games affiliate link. And then he says, shout out to our Patreons. And he posted the link to our Patreon. Of course, Patreon is the other thing we do. That a lot of you are in the chat tonight. And thank you so much as always. Patreon is another thing that we do. and it helps us keep the channel going. It helps us get product for product reviews, pay for the studio, the equipment, the lights, the cameras, all that stuff. And one thing we pride ourselves on, for those of you who don't know, is we will never put content behind a paywall. Everything we make is for all of you, all of the time. But in our Patreon, if you support us at different levels, you get Patreon only dice after 3 months, and there's a lot of talk of them only rolling 6s, just saying. And at certain levels you get a free t-shirt and stuff, and we do giveaways. We've given away everything from the Sisters of Battle huge box to a Pelennor Fields to a Dark Imperium every month-ish, a little bit more than a month, a little bit less than 2. Every 6 weeks we try and give away a huge GW product, which again comes out of Element Games. Huge thanks to them. And we will always try and give back to our Patreon. So if you want to check out the different pledge levels we've got on Patreon, click the link that Steve has popped in the chat, have a read, or message one of us. We also have a Patreon-only Facebook group that's getting pretty busy now as well. So there's always a little good bit of chat in there as well. So do check it out if it's something you would be interested in and want to support the channel further. God knows me, Steve, and Ben would be hugely appreciative if you did. Paul Palms, hopefully I'll finish it sometime this year. Skull Munch. Tom Glover, 31,000 catapult. Was it gold and life-sized? Of course, Will has then confirmed, nope, a drunken purchase while bidding on eBay whilst at a stag do, very drunk. Somewhere I've got the screenshot that Will sent me of his max bid on eBay, and it was £31,040. Oh man, I nearly fell off my chair when he sent me that. It was the funniest thing. Paul Palms, first FF game I played was XV15? Yeah, 15. Do you know what? I was thinking about this. I got it on launch. I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed the open world elements. I just thought it was all a bit slow and a bit button bashy. The last third of the game I was doing just to complete it, to say I'd done it. But I clocked it in my purchases on the PS4 thing the other day, and I was like, should I give it another go? So, dependent on whether I'm working from home and stuff in the situation in the coming weeks, it might be something I explore. It might be. Maybe. What did you think of it, FF15? And anyone else who's in the chat? Tom Glover, no, William Pinto, I just think you could have got a couple of Iron Hills units for that price. Yeah, 3, 4 a push, maybe. Ooh, just heard about this Blackstone expansion. Looks like a big one. Isn't it like a big green lizard thing? I forget the name of it. Again, you all know I'm not a sci-fi dude. Blackstone was something me and Steve really wanted to play, and we pushed hard to get it painted. And life, kids, busy channel, it never happened. I'd love to play some Blackstone Fortress because I see a group, Rob Brown as well, I think a couple of your pals are involved in it, play a couple of times a week at the gaming center. It looks fun. Have you guys tried Blackstone Fortress? Is it any good? Should I check it out? Let me know. Steve Bonner, Jay, I'd watch 10 hours of you painting as content. Oh, Steve, he's after something. What do you want? Would you want? Between us, we could paint the full collection of Element game stock. Dude, the zombie apocalypse ever happens, you need to get to Element, and then we can just paint it all and have a 4 million point game of AOS. It'd be amazing. You could do it in a week. Be great. Steve Bonner, almost 30 folk is a fifth from Mandolin time. Yeah, but 30 isn't 150. But at the time that I see 150 people in a stream, I'm going to go and grab it. I'm going to belt you out a little tune. I was playing Losing My Religion by R.E.M. today, because that is one of the only famous-ish mandolin songs. Where we at? This guy's got some painting vids and streams coming. Steve, yeah, they want me though, Steve. You're just a second-rate guy, I'm afraid. No, of course not. No, Steve does some, I can't believe I'm going to say this, where he's in the chat as well as like recorded, but he's a great painter. He's killing it at the moment. His Dunlending Heroes blew me away, and yeah, check out those streams when they come. They are woo good. Paul Palms, I found the voices in FF15 intensely annoying, not immensely annoying. Got right to the end, but didn't finish it. Yeah, I get that. I had to like push real hard to get through the end, because you lose the open world as well, and the last third is a bit linear. But okay, I really enjoyed the villain though. I forget his name. He was cool, although kind of similar to every FF villain. Glyn Seymour says Zote. I don't know what that means. Is that one of those cool kid terms that I'll never get because I'm not a cool kid? Don't know. Steve Bonner, Steve, get on it, mate. Been ready all day in case you pulled the finger out with Damien. It's a Zote, you Philistine. What are you on about? Zote? No idea. No idea. Grind it, in my opinion. Yeah, I think a lot of RPGs are by nature. Paul Palms, I'm painting Blackstone now. Bought it for the solo play thing, but not done it yet. Obvs. I think me, Steve, and Matt sat down to play it once, and we looked at the setup route. Like it was like 9 o'clock at night. And we're like, let's break it out and do it. We've painted it, and we kind of looked at the setup rules and just went, no, not tonight. And then unfortunately, it went back in the box. Steve Bonner, I'll hold you to it, Jay. Mind how many Facebook peeps are on my friends list, dude. If there's 150 in a stream, I'll belt you out a tune. I'll see if we can get something Lord of the Rings for the mandolin. I'm sure that somebody will have converted it, and there's something we can do with my limited skill set. But we'll make it happen. I made a promise. You fill up my stream, I'll play mandolin. What a beautiful, beautiful partnership that will be. As always, it's great chatting to you guys. I am loving it. We're about an hour in already. Time flies when you are having fun. Shame Steve's not around, but he's in the chat. He's been trolling me a lot less than I'd expect. So, what am I going to paint over the next few months, I suppose we could chat about, couldn't we? What am I going to work? And I apologize, I'm looking around. So, I've got another 3 units for Star Wars Leisure on my desk. I've got some Shore Troopers, a second unit of Snow Troopers, and a Stormtrooper expansion on my table. I want to get those done kind of next. Because I did a load of Batman, so now I'm switching back to Legion. Then after those, it's a load more Batman. I have just decided to send... I got the whole League of Assassins crew, because it's ninjas, man. But they're going to go to Brushballer after seeing the killer work he did on Matt's Batman stuff. Do check it out. But I've got a box of, like... I've collected all my favourite Batman heroes and villains. So I've got, like, Green Arrow and John Diggle from the TV series. I've got Deathstroke. I've got the Batman Who Laughs. Excuse me, ninja'd that off Matt Woods today because it was in the store and he was going to pick it up. I've got Bane the Bat, which is a cool new exclusive model. And basically I've got a box of about 30 Batman models of all different factions and alliances that are just Killer Croc. I've got a giant Killer Croc. And they're just super cool. So after I get this next wave of Legion done, that's pretty much, I've got every unit in the game. The ones you'd probably use multiples of, multiples painted. That's such an enclosed force that I'm going to go on Batman and I'm going to expand those because I painted the full brand new 2-player starter set for Batman, which is Batman vs Joker. I've got all my Bane stuff, which was commission painted a couple of years ago because I love Bane. Even though not playing the game previously, I've always collected the Bane models. And I added to that. They don't look as good, but I did the last of the Bane stuff. So I've got 3 working crews already. So now I'm just going to paint superheroes I love. And I think it's come off the back of playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is another great game you should check out, by the way. Really enjoying just painting stuff I love. And there's nothing more fun than sitting down and painting Iron Man and Captain America. I'm kind of up to date on those. I've got Vision to paint, and I've not been able to get my hand on the Guardians of the Galaxy releases. But I think painting Marvel has inspired me to paint stuff that's cool and you care about. So I've got 3 factions for Batman. The next plan is to just paint all my favourite heroes, like Deathstroke. Deathstroke will always be my jam. Love that guy. So that's kind of my short-term hobby plans. What else have I got? So I've got some terrain from Battle Systems. A lot of you will have seen the Fantasy Kickstarter that kickstarted last year. It's due to fulfill this year. I think it's pushing back a little bit, of course, due to the current issues. I don't think we can hold that against anyone, but I've always loved their stuff. And I bought the Shantytown. Sorry, my cat's asleep on my airbrush compressor. It must be warm. Do not pull the cables. I got the Shantytown and the Urban Apocalypse because it's perfect for Batman. And I adore their stuff. And there's so much of it. So at some point I'm going to set up a table using that stuff. And I'll probably film that for you as well if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. How their stuff looks. Because for cardboard terrain, because it is cardboard terrain, it is so detailed and textured. It's insane. If you want to have a look at it, Google Battle Systems Urban Apocalypse and you'll see what I mean. It's loads of ruined buildings that you can play inside and everything from vending machines to tables to pallets. Literally, you get the scatter pieces. Oh, man. Woo. So I'm looking forward to having a play with that as well. So that's going to be on the agenda very soon. What hobby-wise would you like to see? Because on top of all that stuff, I've got a Rivendell Knight army I need to work on. I've got a base The Hobbits that Brushballer did for me. I've got a pretty unique. Well, I say unique. I want to use a flock box, which kind of makes static grass stand on end. So I want to do that so they look like they're on perfectly trimmed lawn. So I've got to base the hobbits and stuff. But which stuff would you like to see if I did some hobby vlogs going forward, and just to see me working on next? Because it's me. I've got a Bone Reaper army I'm going to paint along with Rob. I've got everything. So what do you want to see? So much stuff. Zote is a Warhammer 40k second ed army linked to Tyranids, and the new big mini for. Oh, that's what that guy is. Right. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Dom Symes, did you back Super Fantasy Brawl? I did. I got absolutely everything apart from the custom card sleeves, because I didn't get the point, because you can't use them in game because every card needs to be sleeved the same. So I got everything but the card sleeves. I've not even checked that one since I filled in the backer kit. I don't know. I think I've seen it's probably later than planned now due to the issues. And Az Drummond is one of my favourite people in the world, and I'm sure it was fine, but I've not really been keeping up to date with Mythic news since Az moved on, but he is killing it as always, and he's got a Kickstarter that was slaying it last week, so good on Az as well. I'd love to have Az in one of these streams, that'd be great. Reese Taylor, you looking forward to the Skyrim board game day? Yes, I am, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. Paul Palms, what's the deal with the set of Blackstone? I'm interested. I don't know, but I'm going to guess someone in the chat has got you covered. Chopsticks on mandolin. Dude, don't give it away. Come on. Oh, Legion. Share your white paint scheme as a blog, as I have to paint mine soon, but can't face white of late after the white scars giving me snowblind. Dude, my Stormtroopers are... They're not the best looking models I've got, but they are some of them... some of the models I'm most proud of in terms of timing for output. I can paint a squad of Stormtroopers in 30 minutes. And you know what? That would be a great thing to show in a blog, actually, because it's a couple of really cool steps. Yes, I will show you how to paint white Stormtroopers in a blog. Now, everyone knows I'm a tabletop speed painter, but if you want to see how to paint them faster than anyone's painted them, guaranteed, I am going to show you that. And they will look good, or I think they look good. Side note as well, Duncan Rhodes miniature painting is a thing, and he did a Stormtrooper, and woo, is it good. Beautiful stuff. Do check him out as well. He got like, I think he posted a 5-second video showing off his new logo as his first video on his channel, and he got like 20,000 subscribers. I think I messaged Steve saying lots of swear words, but yeah, Duncan Rhodes is just a legend in the industry, and do check out his content, because he said we've all watched the Duncan Rhodes painting video and learned from it. Skullmunch, Jay, what's your thoughts on Infinity Code 1? Oh my life. I'm glad that's came up, actually. I forgot about that. I am excited. Now, I know I always go, I'm not a sci-fi guy, and that's the thing I bang on about. But when I first got into gaming, alongside Middle-earth, I played a bit of Infinity. And it's kind of like the meme. I dropped it because it was like learning a degree. You played the game with the book here. There's a meme about it. And it was just... There's 1,000 models in the range. Every model's unique. Every model has 7 special rules, and every special rule has 3 levels. Like, nope. But from what, like, Infinity is a cool looking game. The ARO mechanic is one of my favourite mechanics from any game ever. That's like an automatic response something. Basically, you can, if something moves within line of sight, you can spend your activation tokens out of sequence to react. So if someone runs across, so you play on such a dense board of terrain, and if someone enters your line of sight, you can take an order to shoot him. And it's so kind of thematic, and just it's really kind of engrossing as a game, and you get so caught up in it, and I love that. And I really enjoyed the games of Infinity I played, but after you go past the demo, it's just like more information, and it was too much for me. Code 1, I'm told, the premise behind it is fixing that. So I am in. I've got all the Caldstorm stuff pre-ordered. Blame Matt Woods. He's my enabler. And I'm looking forward to trying it. And if you guys want to see it on the channel, I probably won't promise anything more than an unboxing, because it depends how I take to it. But I'll have a look at it with you. Are you going to play it, Skullmunch? Where are we up to? Tom Glover, can't wait for the Skyrim game. Got my Dragonborn ready to paint and waiting on the rest. Shame it isn't out already, because the solo play would be great for isolation. Dude, you're right. It really would. I found the Skyrim hours on Steam have risen a lot recently, though, in the meantime. I was playing Skyrim the other day. I just get very engrossed in... Is it Hearthstone? No, that's that app card game. Hearthfire. The expansion where you build a house. I just get very obsessed with building a house and going finding goat horns so I can put wall sconces up. And I get very caught up in that. Interestingly, it's been quite computer game focused. I was sat thinking the other day, like I get a kick out of platinum in computer games, which is getting every achievement. And there's two games that I love and have played multiple times through that I've never even thought about trying it with, which is Skyrim and Fallout 4. Both Modiphius Miniatures games, by the way. And a bit of me is like, should I, with either Skyrim or Fallout 4, create a new save file and see if I can get all the achievements? And I'm a bit... but it's probably 100 hours, and who's got time for that? Not me. But I like the idea of doing it. I did just platinum Days Gone and Horizon Zero Dawn. That's such a good game. Anyway, Castlevania on Netflix now. There's a Castlevania series? Oh, wait, is it animated? I think it's animated. I think I saw it. Shadow and Flames in. Hey, Dave. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Brain is scrambled after trying to organise a minimalistic funeral tomorrow, but when I get back to the hobby, I'll be on my Dunlendings. Bought my son the new 40k shirt. First of all, condolences, mate, of course. I've seen on Facebook, and I feel for you massively. Of course, I'm speaking for Steve and the boys. When I say if there's anything I can do let us know. I am very sorry. And yeah, it'd be great to see you getting some hobby done, mate. It might be good for you, and it'd be cool because we love the stuff you do as well. And you are, of course, the originator of the Elven Lunchbox. And that is somebody we need around. Dom Symes, which of YouTubers are you watching for Legion content as I'm running out? There's not a load of them, is there? So you've got Krabbock and Tabletop Oddity, who are like your Legion news guys. So when a new article drops, whoosh, and I love Jay from Tabletop Oddity, so Jay is the one I watch the most. In terms of bat reps, there is War Corgi. They're good. They're really good. And then there's one that's like an abbreviation, and in my head I'm saying MOTD, but that's Match of the Day. It's not that, but it's something like that. There's another channel other than War Corgi, and Jay from Tabletop Oddity. It's got some battle reports as well. But you've got War Corgi and another one, not Match of the Day, that do good Legion battles. My only issue, I'm really loving Legion at the moment. My only issue is like battle reports are 2.5 hours long, because the 800 point is a long game. So I want to see some like 500 point skirmish, like quite heavily edited, snappy ones, and I'm struggling to find those. So if anyone does know of any, let me know. PM me, stick them in the chat. It'd be great, because I really enjoy Legion content as well. But the way the game plays, it's quite, I don't want to say grindy, because the game isn't, but the bat reps can be, if that makes sense. Shadow and Flames, been watching Castlevania 2. Nice. Leon, a Rivendell Knight army would be great. It would be great to see a battle report and or a tactics video about them. Of course, the battle rep isn't possible. Yeah, I have painted a horse, and I think I sent pictures to the Top Table boys and Will. I really enjoyed that, actually. Experiment with the Apothecary White contrast paint, and then just like, I think a 50-50 with Lamy and medium, because it goes on with a bit of a blue tone just to make it a really soft grey, and then just highlighted with, I don't use GW white. The best bit of advice I ever got was to use matte white by Army Painter. It doesn't go up, it doesn't dry up, the consistency's perfect, it's great for dry brushing without being chalky, it's great on a brush. Matte white Army Painter, what a colour. And then just literally a matte white highlight with Army Painter, and they look legit. And again, a little bit of time in, I think they look great for the amount of effort that was put in. So I'll show you how to paint a white horse as well as a Stormtrooper, Steve, if that's something you'd be interested in. Steve Bonner, I'd love to see more Infinity. I've had a couple of games and wanted the Scots and resurrected William Wallace. Yeah, that's the... Oh, if I'm wrong, apologies to any Infinity fans. It's the Ariadne, right? And they have the dudes who can turn into werewolves. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. I love the Yu Jing, which are like the Orange Ninja Boys that are part of Cold Storm and were part of Operation Wildfire. One of the boxes. My Infinity knowledge isn't on point, but they have gorgeous ninjas, and then you get the big tags. Ooh, very cool. Paul Palms, I just got the platinum trophy in that game where you have to tap the mayonnaise jar over and over. What the hell is that? I haven't got a pen. I want to make a note for myself to look at what the mayonnaise game is after the stream. That sounds cool. Skull Munch, I'm interested in Code 1. Just a little steep on the price. Might be persuaded. Yeah, it is. I think the rules are going to be free. And if the half you're interested in is the Pan-Oceania, dude, drop me a message. They are yours as a gift because I won't use them. I'm going Yujing, but I have bought a starter set. And if there's a way that we can get you the rules and the other stuff, they are yours, my friend. Steve Bonner, Jay, how are you finding the Legion FF mechanics? Too many tokens and connection play for me. FF. What's FF? Because my brain's saying Final Fantasy because we've been talking about it. Steve, what's FF? Too many tokens. Oh, do you mean the droids? And the fact that they can, when they issue an order, something within range 1 issues and stuff. Don't know. Let me know what FF is, then I can answer that question a little bit more informatively, mate. Sorry if I'm being an idiot. It's getting late and I'm getting old, so I'm getting a bit tired. We've got about 15 minutes left on the stream. Paul Palms, it's on PS4. It's called I Am Mayo. Wow. And I would question that you might have a bit too much time on your hand, Paul, if you found that. I'm just going to throw that out there. Steve Bonner, need to get a Tag Wars Infinity style gaming sometime. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be well good. Fantasy Flight, of course. Oh, silly. I adore the Legion. So if we're talking globally, I love the Legion mechanics. I think it's got the best of both X-Wing. What is this crazy cat doing? Oh, my cat's on stream. Look. Hello, Sylvie. Oh, hello. Anyway, sorry. It is the best of both X-Wing and Armada. I love the way movement works, that you just move the leader of the unit and you just place everything within range 1 afterwards. The more keywords they add, the more convoluted it can get, but I think it's great. There's just enough, like 2 to 3, 4 in your Vader and Palpatine cases special rules, and they are all global special rules that everyone has rather than just Vader. No, I think it's actually quite streamlined and fun, especially once you've had a few games and stuff. It all really starts to click. I think it's fantastic. There's some really... I love the dice mechanics and the fact there's different dice for attacking and defending. I love, again, the way the movement works. It's really fluid and fast. I love games where you get a unit and then you customize it with upgrade cards. That is my jam all day long. No, I adore it, if I'm honest. I think it's really slick, really fun, and just... yeah, it's for me. But each to their own. Paul Palms. It was about £1, and it was the easiest platinum to get, so I thought that sounds right on my street. That feels like cheating, but I might be downloading it later. Skullmunch Legend, mate, that would be awesome. Also, you have been photobombed by your cat. Yeah, it snuck in. It wants to be famous. It's Top Table Sylvester. Oh, yeah. Crazy cat. Steve Bonner, sadly not played X-Wing Armada, so might just be a lack of experience. Yeah, if it's your first Fantasy Flight game, there'll be a bit of a learning curve. They do things very differently to GW, but they have some of the most intuitive systems in games going. They are fantastic. Stick with it, and I promise you, once you're 6 games in, you'll be like, this is my jam. I really love the command cards as well that force not only priority for the turn, but some really interesting in-game abilities, and you build that deck dependent on which heroes you take. Which faction do you play, Steve? I'm assuming Imperials. Which are your favourite heroes? I'm loving Bosk at the moment. And Iden Verso, which I believe is out in the next 2 weeks, looks insane because he's got a gun for 15 points, which is basically like an ATST. It's a powerhouse. So I'm excited to get Iden Verso on the table. Not really a big Star Wars fan at all, if I'm honest. I don't know the names of most of the spaceships I see. But I love Fantasy Flight games, so I gave Legion a try. And we all know what Stormtroopers and Luke and Vader and Palpatine is, and that is cool, the fact that you can throw them up against each other. Played a simpler version with the kids as they love Star Wars and the minis. That's ace. I really hope, I'd never push it on him or anything like that, but I would be so happy if Oscar wanted to miniatures game. That'd be amazing. He loves the gaming centre, of course. There's been an occasion where I've had to take him to work with me and things like that. About a month ago, actually, I had to take him in while there was an event on. We were only popping in for half an hour. We ended up there 7 hours. and he had kind of a line. There was a lot of casual gaming going on, and obviously I was chatting to people. And at one point, he had a queue of people wanting to play chess with him. Oscar adores the gaming centre, and it's where he wants to work when he grows up. But I would love it if he was a gamer. That would be mega. Yeah, I know. I always get this wrong. I'm the Iden Verso thing. We're not going over that. Of course, the Star Wars not in the room corrects me there. Cheers, Will. Shadow and Flame. I've played X-Wing and liked it, but I still haven't opened my original Legion box yet. Dave, it's worth checking out, man. The minis are cool. Considering they are just like hard plastic, usually 2 pieces that you can push together. Some of them are mega, especially the newer stuff. It's a really fantastic little game. I think it's a great game to play with your kids as well. Really easy to learn, and then you can strip back you could leave the command cards out, you could leave upgrade cards out, so you're just using basic stormtrooper squads, not adding like abilities or special weapons. You could really play it in a really bare format, and the core set is of course the way to do that, because it's Vader and Luke with 2 units and a big thing each, whether it's speeder bikes or a walker. And it's a great game to play with your kids, I think, and I think they'd love it and they'd really adapt to it. And I think in no time at all, they'd soon be shooting you off the table and wanting to add the extra stuff as well. So I'd encourage anyone to check it out. And the popularity on Legion right now is through the roof. And I don't think it's anything to do with the movies. I mean, it has to be a little bit, but there's always a new Star Wars thing. But like the skirmish rules and just the fact that we've got 4 factions now, not 2, because they've released the Separatists and the Clones for Clone Wars, has really made the game come into its own. And it is absolutely worth checking out. If you don't play it or don't own it or haven't tried it, I was about to say get down to your gaming store and ask for a demo, but it might be on TTS. Check that one out. Steve Bonner. I've just got multiple starters of Rebels and Imperials, but desperately want every option. Steve Bonner, I'm going to drop you a message after the stream and ask you a massive favour, because I dug all my Legion stuff out and I found all my Rebels, but I've got none of the cards. So if you've got multiple starters and you want to let me purchase a starter set's worth of Rebel cards, I will love you forever, and I will play Mandolin for you privately, because everyone else has to earn it. So, remind, if I don't PM you, PM me. Steve Bonner, my version is no tokens, break-in/suppression, and full rerolls on aims. Yeah, why not? Like, a game is a game, right? We don't play it to win. There are situations when we all try and win. We play it to have an experience with the person on the other end of the table. Sounds like I'm in work mode now, but that is true. And do whatever you need to do to that game to make it the version of fun that you want and you and your opponent will gauge the most about. That's my rule on everything we play. Everything we play. It's the best way. You're there to have fun and enjoy it, so I would encourage that. But so we've got about 10 minutes left. Is there anything else anyone wants to chat about or ask me? You've got a full license to ask me anything, not you, Pintar, because I don't trust what you'll put in a YouTube chat. But anyone else, you've got free reign to ask me anything. You've got about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to sign off and call that my Sunday evening. Steve Bonner, sure mate, will reply once you message. Oh, my hero. My hero. What a guy. What a guy. Oh, it's been fun actually. He's losing the old voice. Steve would say he's used to me nattering on for 90 minutes without getting a word in, but it's definitely a lot of talking. But I could do this every Sunday night, and I think over the coming months you may see lots more lives. And if we all get together and get to talk toys for the next couple of months, I think that's a pretty good thing. Let us know if you want them to all be super casual like this, or you'd like specific topics, or a mix of both. Let us know what you'd watch, and let us know what you want us to bring, because if we've got an excuse to log on and chat to you guys, we're definitely going to do it. Okay, we're caught up on the chat. It took me 83 minutes, but I'm done. Skullmunch, do you have enough loo rolls? Yeah, probably. I don't believe in... I couldn't panic buy. Like, I've been to Asda most days, and watching everyone run around like idiots has just infuriated me. And the thing everyone's forgetting is, yes, of course, Morrison's and Tesco and Asda are decimated of loo roll. But if you go to your local one-stop corner shop, like local mini-mart, they've got them. Like, I've never struggled. So probably I'm down to my last 2 rolls, but I'm not that worried. Like, everyone needs to stop panicking, and we're probably in this for the long haul, and everyone's going to realise that they can keep up with demand when you stop buying like that. It's fine. It's fine. But yes, I've got a couple of loo rolls left, but for me that's enough. because I don't think I'll struggle getting more. And I live slap bang next to Manchester City Centre, and I've seen them. I saw the other day, it was fantastic, that I live across the road from an Aldi. I love Aldi, the central aisles of all the gadgets. But it was like 8:30 in the morning, and I was baffled because as I went past, there was about 100 people there, but so British, we're great at queuing. They were all in a perfect queue with the trolleys waiting to get in. And I was like, we're not there yet. Why is everyone panicking? But I don't want to rant about that right now. Steve Honor, sadly you might have gave me a Legion boot up the can. Dude, Legion is good. I'm assuming boot up the can means motivated you to do it, not put you off it. That sounds like a very Bonar thing to say, I'm not sure. Probably not live stream worthy, but did you get my message? Yes, I did, my friend. And I thought I replied, but I will. Love you, man. It's a shame we're not going to get to hook up anytime soon, because obviously that was the intention. But we can get that sorted. That's not a problem. Oh, man. We are caught up. Sorry, I've got one eye on my cat because I think it's using cables as toys. I got a cat about 6 weeks ago and it hates me but loves my son, so I suppose that's fine. Dom Symes, if you could design a game, what would it be? Mine would be a mashup between Necromunda and Battletech in 28mm skirmish, 20 models per faction. So Dom, I designed a game. I never, ever intend on doing anything with it. It was kind of like a personal development thing, if you will. When I was working at Steamforged, obviously I was as far from game development in my role there as possible. But I was like, I wonder if I could do it. And I don't think I can, but I did it. I designed a 5 to 9, 10 model skirmish game, 28 to 32 mil, a post-apocalyptic setting. Closest comparisons would be The Last of Us, in terms of a quite real world post-apocalyptic setting, really serious, like scarce resources and things like that. But if I had to put a skin around that, it would be Midgar from Final Fantasy VII, but with the grittiness and urbanness of Last of Us bolted on. That probably means nothing, and it's not very clear, which is why I don't design games. But I did 4 factions and the rules, and I even tried it myself once in my dining room, and I enjoyed it. And I did actually speak to a friend of mine recently about recommendations on people to get artwork done for it. Again, it's kind of, I'm that far down the rabbit hole. I'd love to finish it, even if I had some artwork for the characters I've written rules for and imagine, and then models for them, and it's a game I could play. Don't ever intend on doing anything with this game, but that would be a really cool thing for me to own. It's been a really interesting thing, because started about 18 months ago, then lost my MacBook last year and lost 9 months of work because I'm an idiot and don't back my stuff up, so started again, trying to use my memory for most of it, and it was a fun thing. But that's a great question, and you made me tell people something I've probably never told anyone on the channel before, so good job. Do you have advice people have for dinner now that McDonald's is closed? McDonald's isn't closed. I had it today for lunch while I was painting. You can still get it delivered if you live within Uber Eats range, and I'm blessed that I do. So I had some chicken nugs while I was painting this bad boy. Yeah, McDonald's is fine, you just can't sit in there. Steve Bonner, so Airbrush and Legion tomorrow, you've sold me. You'll need to put up links to bat reps in the group. Can as in okay, Stormtrooper armor. You can do it, dude, I believe. And I can do it with 2 paints. One of them can arguably be classed as priming. That's how easy I'm going to make it. And I'll message you privately and let you know. I'm going to revolutionise your world. It's going to be great, and you're going to appreciate me for it. So that is it, guys. We've got a couple of minutes left. So fire in your... Oh, Steve Bonner, share with the group, lad. Would love to play the game. Cool. Paul Palms, yeah, they put out a statement a little while ago. Oh, McDonald's is shut. No. Good. I'm on a diet, and I'm supposed to be eating clean, so it's probably done me a favour. Glenn Seymour went for a run. I'm back. Well, you've got back just at the end. All restaurants closed. Announced while I'm on the stream. That's it. I'm too busy chatting to you guys. McDonald's closing tomorrow at 7 p.m. Oh, well. I had mine today. I hate McDonald's. My little lad's going to be wounded. I'm not telling him. That's someone else's problem. That kid would live for a McDonald's cheeseburger and a milkshake. But devastating news. You're all heartbroken. We could probably all do with it. And I mean that. No, I could probably do with it. You guys are fine. But McDonald's isn't the best of food for any of us, is it? Reese, what has been the most challenging model you've ever built and painted? This is going to be my last question of the evening. Right. most challenging model I've ever built. Oh. So the most challenging model I've ever built is actually also been the most rewarding, and that was the Stoic Arms from Foreground. Foreground make this beautiful pre-painted MDF terrain. A lot of you have seen the houses. They're in battle reports all over YouTube, mainly used in Middle-earth. They do a pub, and it is like 150 quid. It's like, what's that, A4? That's going on my shelves, by the way. It's on my table. I'm going to leave weird insults for Steve on each video I do on this. Like, it's like A4, A3 size, multiple levels. Each level lifts off from the roof downwards, so you can see the rooms, and the level of detail is insane. It's literally thousands of pieces, and it took me about 3 weeks to build, and when it was done, I was so proud of this beautiful, beautiful thing. Love it. The Stoic Arms is the most challenging, yet the most rewarding. The most challenging model I've ever painted... I don't know. I get most of my stuff done by Gaz, don't I? So I don't know. Let's try and think of a model I've started and then not finished because I got demotivated by it. I don't know. Sorry guys, can't answer that one anytime soon. I will have a think though, and if I remember I'll throw it up in the Facebook group. Apologies, but great question, Reese, to finish it. How am I supposed to get an egg and bacon McMuffin? I don't know, we'll power through. Do it, Jay, keep the dream alive. I want to make a game, but lack imagination. Dude, I thought I was the same, and if I showed this anyone else, they'd probably say, yeah, you do lack imagination, but I'm very proud of where I got with it. And it's been a really good kind of like personal development thing to do. It was good. Just get him to watch the stream, Jay. You have to tell him as you chat. Thanks for the stream. Stay safe, all, says Paul. Steve Bonner says, SpongeBob movie, when the Paddy secret ingredient was stolen, society will fall. And Glyn Seymour will say, we'll have to be a bit more active on Messenger or Facebook. Dude, I'm going to drop you a message after the stream. It's been too long since we just chatted and chewed the fat, and we know we love you. So, guys, that has been a very impromptu Sunday night Top Table Live. I hope you've enjoyed it. We had Steve in the comments. He was with us in spirit. Unfortunately, we couldn't set it up to have him here in person, but we'll work hard to do it for the next one. We hope you've enjoyed it. As we always say, check out the Element Games affiliate link and Patreon, which have both been linked in this chat tonight. Make sure over the coming months we're all supporting each other. Chirp up, ask questions, generate conversation in the Top Table group, because we've got a rough couple of months ahead, but we can make each other get through with our shared love of hobby. And until the next video, I will see you soon. Take care, everyone.